Can everyone hear me all right? All right, cool. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to our irregularly scheduled Ethereum and chill stream. I apologize for not doing a video on Sunday. I was out of town. But back now, figured I'd get this video up. Seems like the timing is pretty appropriate, just kind of based on what's going on in the market right now. So figured let's hop on the stream. Let's talk about some charts. Let's talk about some of this carnage that we're seeing obviously today. A lot has changed since the last video, so we'll kind of go over what's happened since we last discussed and how things played out, because a lot of things played out, to be honest, quite favorably, and just kind of go from there. So looking at kind of the market as a whole right now, basically what we want to see is this kind of a stop run, a dip before higher prices, or is this going to be kind of the mid-term, medium-term, short-term top, and we're going to see even a larger correction on some of these coins before continuation. I'm still a firm believer that we're very much in a bull trend. The question is, if this is a higher high, which it is, if this is the swing high per se, where is that higher low going to form? Because that's obviously the point of maximum opportunity, the point where we want to be involved. So I know things look absolutely nuts on the low time frame, but on the high time frame, most things look pretty good still. So no reason to stress too much, right? So obviously, right off the bat, thanks again to Prime XBT for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check them out. Use the link in the description to join. Main 50 deposit bonus code. You get a 50% deposit bonus. You deposit 1 Bitcoin, you actually get 50%, so a half Bitcoin extra to trade with. Obviously, nothing in this video kind of constitutes financial advice. So, be careful. Everything in this market is extremely volatile, extremely risky. So you always got to do your own research regardless of what I say or do. At the end of the day, I'm here trading my money. I'm not telling you what to do with yours. You're going to be kind of in control of that at the end of the day. So, these are perfect instances of why you got to be careful and never risk more than you're willing to lose. I mean, obviously, moves like this are savage. The goal is to never get liquidated on a type of move like this to the point where you're completely out of the game. Something that I always say when it comes to trading and risk management is anytime you take a loss, you want that to be a flesh wound, right? You can keep on trucking on. You don't want to take a kill shot and then you're out of the game and the market reverses or whatever, right? So with all that kind of stuff out of the way, let's get into it. So we'll kind of cover altcoins mainly today. We'll go over Bitcoin as well, but altcoins obviously saw a lot of kind of movement over the last couple of days. So we kind of got to see what is next. This SEC news coming out with Ripple. What does that mean for the market as a whole? Are there other coins that are susceptible to this kind of a lawsuit? Do we care? You know, we can kind of touch on that. I'm by no means an expert in this kind of fundamental stuff. You know, I've breezed through kind of the Coles notes of the lawsuit, but I don't by any means have, you know, some in-depth knowledge about this. I'm definitely not a lawyer, much to my parents' chagrin. Yeah, I'll kind of give you my opinion, and we can go from there. So what's up, Sonny? What's up, Amen? How you doing? Jolly DY, Mickey, Tots, Josh, what's up? Fabrizio, what's up? Oh man, you're down 22%. Why'd you close, bro? Dick's enormous. I will hold you. I'm not gonna hold your dick though. It sounds enormous. Underwater, help. What's up, mean? Speedy recovery for your brother. Now let's get this money. Thank you so much. Yeah, my brother had a nasty snowboarding accident. So I was up at the ski hill snowboarding with my family last week, and I actually left yesterday to come home. And I guess one of my brothers and my dad went out yesterday, and he charged it, sent it full tilt off a cliff, as we do. Learned from the best, myself. And I guess he landed awkwardly on his back, and there was like a tree sticking out, and the tree kind of jabbed him, and he like shattered a bunch of ribs. One of his lungs got punctured and collapsed, you know, bleeding and bruising within the lung. So obviously very nasty injury, very long road to recovery, but thank God there's no you know, spinal injury or anything that he can't recover from. You know, thank you all so much for the well wishes. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. You know, CT is the best for that exact reason. David is not doing well. Dumps like this are why we're here. Gotta love crypto. Beautiful day. You know, there's always two ways that you can you know, see these types of moves. You can either see them as an opportunity, or you can see them as like, oh fuck, what am I doing? What the fuck? I'm getting wrecked, right? I like to always think of this kind of shit as an opportunity. You don't get any market in the world that can drop these kind of percentages and then fully recover this quickly. Lots of money to be made in these types of opportunities. We'll talk about that and how you can capitalize on this kind of shit, right? So thank you so much, Fabrizio. Top, Mickey, what's up? Okay. So, let's get into it. Sorry. Okay, so when we last spoke, Bitcoin was actually still trading below all-time high. Funnily enough, was trading, I believe, at the same or higher than its current price. But Bitcoin itself was trading below all-time high. And if you remember this chart, we were trading here. Okay, we were trading in this consolidation when I did my last video. And I basically had marked out, this as the last area for bearishness on Bitcoin. So if you go back and watch the last Ethereum and chill video, we were trading right here. Okay, December 13th was the date of the last video. Basically, I said, this is it. This is the last stand for the bears. And then I predicted, predicted is such a corny word, but I basically said, okay, this is the last stand for the bears. You know, we have the H12 bearish order block here that sent us to this low. We're coming in. I said, basically, if we close above this 0.79 fib, okay, that was my invalidation point, right? So you've got to have an invalidation point. I said, if we get a daily close above this 0.79 fib, which we did, a 12-hour close, excuse me, 12-hour order block, 12-hour fib pull, above this 0.79 fib, which we got right there. The next target I had was 22K, and the 22K target was derived from a 1.168 fib pull, and then the next target I had was a 1-to-1 fib extension. So if you go watch that last video, those are the two levels I talked about if we were gonna break out. God damn it, leave me alone. So that was kind of the point of invalidation. I basically said this is the last stand for the bears. We were trading here. So where did my bias kind of change on Bitcoin, right? So basically, you know, I did well in terms of, you know, this first drop, right? So we had this first drop here down to 16K, right? I was expecting this pullback. Then we came and made what? A higher high, right? So first sign that the bears were, you know, kind of wrong was here, right? We made a higher high here. So top form, what is this? This is a higher low. What I wanted to see was a lower high, right? But we didn't. We got a higher high. So what is the expectation after a higher high? It's a higher low, right? So one of the areas we were watching was this 17.2K level, right? So I said, okay, if we can get a pullback to here, I think you long the fuck out of it. And it seems like most of Twitter was looking at the same thing, was looking at this area and was expecting a pullback to that kind of area. It didn't come as deep as I wanted. I was aiming for this kind of, you know, deep 17.2K pullback. Right around here is where I was looking. It looks like that got front run. As you can see, it's essentially a perfect higher low right into the 0.62 fib. Came just shy of the order block that I would have wanted to buy in, right? So here's your demand, your order block, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right here, okay? Higher high, right? This is just basic market structure. High, low, higher high, expectation is a higher low. So the last point of return was here, because basically if this was going to nuke, it had to turn around here, right? As soon as it closed through that 0.79 fib, the expectation was trend continuation. And that's what we did. We saw another higher high make. Now the question is, where is the higher low? Are we going to see a quick higher low like this, right? Where it expands, consolidates, expands, or are we going to see something more like what we just saw here, right? Which is an expansion, a deep retrace, and then expansion, right? So the same logic can be applied here, right? Where would the higher low be? Could be anywhere in this area here, right? Back into this area here, right into that deep pullback, right? Or it can be very shallow. This would be considered a very shallow pullback, just like we saw right here, right? So we see, you know, expansion to the upside here, right? Shallow pullback, continuation. The difference here, obviously, expansion to the upside, deep pullback, continuation. Both are potentially possible. So where I bought back all my spot was literally right here. So like the day before we broke all-time high, I went back into all of my ETH and all of my Bitcoin spot. The reason being was two things, okay? The two key factors were this, and I took a loss on some of this spot. So I started selling spot from like 18K right up to like basically 20K, just shy of 20K, right? Like into the 19.6, 19.7 region. But some of the spot I bought back, you know, at as big of a loss as like $1,000 per Bitcoin. But that's the risk, right? For me, there was enough downside potential that I was willing to take that risk, and I was able to make up for that loss and then some on the subsequent move up, right? So for me, the kind of telltale signs that we were not going to continue down, and the reason that I bought back into my spot was very simple, right? It was this here, okay? It was this pullback move here, okay? Breaking through the 0.79 right there. That was reason number one, or that was reason number two, excuse me. Reason number one was this. failing to make a lower low, right? Once we failed to make a lower low and we basically V-bottomed off of this level here, soon as we went through here, I said this is going higher. I bought back my spot. So I took the loss, right? I flipped my bias, and then I was long bias for this next leg up, and I was able to make back all the money that I had lost on some of my spot sells from here, okay, in this move here. So as much as it sucks selling spot and then buying back higher, it's not the end of the world. You got to treat it like a trade, right? Like if you are trading on BitMEX and your collateral is Bitcoin, if you're wrong, you lose Bitcoin, right? So you lose Bitcoin value. When you buy back spot higher, you're losing Bitcoin value, but you can make that money back, and you got to treat it as a trade, right? You've got to be able to say, okay, here's where I'm wrong. I'm cutting the position. I'm flipping my bias, and then you can make the money back. So you have to be nimble with your bias. The problem with crypto, the problem with what I see with so many people in crypto is their inability to let go, their inability to realize a loss, and their greed and their emotional attachment to these coins, to their bags, to Bitcoin itself, and it prevents them from trading objectively. And to be a successful trader, you've got to be as objective and robotic as possible when it comes to your decision-making process. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking smoked, right? So I don't like selling Bitcoin at 18 and buying it back on 19. Of course I don't, right? But the fact of the matter is I was wrong, and I would rather buy it back at 19 than fucking buy back at 22, right? So you have to be robotic. You have to be systematic and objective. You cannot have any sort of emotional attachment to any of this bullshit. You've gotta be able to flip your bias on a dime and do what's best for your portfolio. Capital preservation is the name of this game. Long term. If you just own crypto, over the long term, you're gonna make money because year over year over year, for the most part, it just goes up, right? So just by being exposed to crypto, you're gonna make money. But what you don't want to do is fucking blow your account, fucking take a major hit that is very difficult to recover from just when all the fun is getting started because you were too stubborn to buy back your spot that you sold, right? I have no problem being wrong on Twitter. I have no problem losing money as long as I'm doing so in a way that is, in my opinion, managed by risk, right? So I know going into it what I'm gonna lose every time I buy or sell spot or enter and exit a trade. People need to have this mindset that is of a risk first mindset. It's not how much am I gonna make on this trade, it's what is the worst case scenario, how much can I lose if I'm wrong. Once you start thinking with that mindset, then things become a little bit easier. So had to take the L here, but looking in hindsight, I think it's pretty clear. We had a low, a higher high, the expectation's a higher low. It front run the bid that I wanted. I wanted to buy here. And then when it got here, it failed to push down. So that was the signal that we were going to go higher. We went to the 1.168 extension, and then ultimately to the 1-to-1 extension of this price swing, right? So a 1-to-1 extension of this price swing puts price right there. So overall, did I play this move like a fucking absolute killer? Absolutely not. But did I make money? Yes. Would I have made more money just being fucking, absolutely ridiculously long the entire time? Of course. I'm 100% of the mindset that in absolute bull trends, newer traders oftentimes will outperform more experienced traders simply because they have no risk management and they will just long the fuck out of everything forever. So it is what it is. I'm happy that I got back in Bitcoin when I did, and now we're at another point of another decision point, I guess you could say. Are we going to continue higher, or are we going to see some sort of larger correction going into Q1, going into Christmas, going into New Year's for what I believe will be a higher low and trend continuation for 2021? I'm still ultimately super bullish for 2021 on both Bitcoin and altcoins. The question is, can we get in cheaper here? Where are the dips to buy? That kind of thing. So now that we've kind of covered, okay, where were we at last time? Here's where we are now, right? So this is in the past, right? No use crying over spilt milk. That shit has happened already. I didn't play that perfectly. If you didn't play that perfectly, fucking forget about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You're gonna lose money, or there's opportunity cost in dwelling on the past, right? When you sit there and go, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I should have fucking longed this here. I should have longed this there. Too bad, right? If and buts were candy and nuts, what a wonderful Christmas it would be, as my mom used to always say. So you've just got to fucking look at what's in front of you. What can you do now? And let's maximize these opportunities, right? So don't worry about fucking money that you've lost. There's always an opportunity to make more money. So where are we at now? We've seen another massive leg up through all-time high. One of the things that's interesting to me is Bitcoin is now trading, well above all-time highs, a few $1,000s. And altcoins, for the most part, still look like absolute shit. Look at any of these alt Bitcoin pairs. They're all getting absolutely smoked, FBTC, etc. Simply because Bitcoin has been extremely fucking strong, right? So when Bitcoin is dominating, alts are gonna fucking eat a dick. Your money is always going to be better in Bitcoin if that alt BTC pair is bearish. You need to remember that, right? So unless you're just trading the alt USD chart, you need to focus on the alt BTC chart if you're using or basing your portfolio in Bitcoin. Because this entire run here, right, this entire run, for the most part, alt BTC charts have been bearish, meaning your money would have been better just being stuck in Bitcoin. So you got to remember that before you go cramming into these alts because someone on Twitter told you to. Are there alt BTC pairs that I think are starting to look bottom? Absolutely. I've talked about F and Litecoin and some other ones, but not yet, right? Not yet. For the most part, most of these majors look like dog shit. Okay. So, we're basically in a range, right? This looks confusing, right? On the low time frame, it looks like we're dying, we're pumping, we're going to new highs, blah, blah, blah. If you just zoom out, right, we're just in a range. So the range got set extremely fucking early, in my opinion. You could argue that this is your range right here for the entirety of this trading here, right? And as you can see, we've just broken above, back below, swept the lows, back to the highs, swept the highs. Now we're trading right around mid-range. So you could argue this is your range. If you wanted to use this as your range, I think you could as well. But generally what I like to do when I'm picking my range, okay, is once the move completes, I take the high and then I take the first swing low, and that's my range, okay? So there's the move. You take the high of the move, then the first swing low that is generated, and vice versa for what I just said for a range in a bearish move. You would take the low and then the next subsequent swing high. So this is just a range, right? So in reality, do you have to worry about what's going on here, too much? I don't think so. I think you can just look at this as what it is. It's a range. Once we break out of this range, we're either going to see trend continuation or we're going to see some sort of breakdown. It's the exact same shit that happened here, right? So once this move broke, right, there's the low. Here's your trading range. Once the range broke, we obviously broke to the upside. Boom, we saw continuation. So the exact same thing is happening here. We're starting to form a range. We're starting to form some consolidation here. I don't know if you want to use the diagonal lines. You absolutely can, right? But again, this is going to break out in one direction or the other of this range, and we're going to see price either continue to the upside or we're going to see a deeper pullback. So let's examine the potential bearish case first, right? The potential bearish case would be that this is a topping pattern, kind of like an inverse head, or kind of like a head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, there's your neckline, and this is going to break down, and we're going to see a larger correction. So what's interesting to me, is that this correction would line up pretty well with the previous all-time high, right? So if I take my fib all the way from there to there, right, and I pull my and I put it on my regular fib here, right? Look at where the OTE and the sweet spot line up with, right? So this would be kind of your buy zone. We've talked about this in previous videos. This would be your discount pricing. So within this price swing, if we're expecting price to continue higher, this is the area that you want to be buying, okay? So you want to buy in discounts of the range for uptrends. You want to sell in premiums of a range for downtrends, right? So this would be the area if this is going to have a deep pullback, just like this did, right? So here's your range here, okay? This is your discount. So let's just do, so exactly what I just showed you here. There's your price swing. Discount was right here. If this is your price swing and your range that you're focused on, your discount is right here, right? Okay, and we just wicked into it, and then boom. It's the exact same thing I'm showing you here. Here's your price swing. This would be your discount, and this would be where you're looking to buy, right? So this is going to be an area that you definitely want to watch. And what forms at interesting areas generally, right? Well, our previous all-time high, right, is an interesting area. So if you mark off the highest weekly close after, previous to the last couple of weeks, obviously, and then the last all-time high, and then we zoom back in to where we are, you can see those levels actually line up very well with that deep discount within the price range. So absolutely, this is an area of interest for buying. If we get some sort of deep pullback on this price leg, this is an area where you want to be looking to long. And if we are going to get some sort of deep pullback here, I expect a lot of altcoins to shit the bed even the more, specifically in USD value. Why do I say that? Because if Bitcoin dumps versus USD, generally alt USD pairs will dump along with it, right? But if Bitcoin is dumping, the alt BTC pair will probably see some bearishness, but not as much, because if the alt is weak, but BTC is also weak, that fraction, the numerator and the denominator are going down. That's not going to cause that chart to go down as much as if the denominator, Bitcoin, is flying and going up, right? That is going to cause that fraction to bleed a lot more. So if we see some sort of pullback into here, this would be an area where I'm absolutely looking to long, just like this pullback was an area where you absolutely want to look to long. So that would be kind of the most bearish scenario that I see. We see some sort of deep correction here going into Christmas, going into the new year, Bitcoin retesting previous all-time high, which in my opinion, I say the most bearish scenario is not that bearish, right? This would be a very nice retest before continuation upside, but I do think this would get quite ugly for alt USD pairs like Ethereum, like Litecoin, things like that, in terms of them pulling back much further. So that is something you want to be aware of, but again, I don't think that is super bearish. What I would not want to see on kind of like your uber bearish scenario is us to deviate all-time high and then start trading below here. If we start trading below this consolidation, back below previous all-time high, I don't really like that, and that would be for me a cause for concern, where it's like, okay, maybe zooming out even more, we are going to see a much larger pullback on prices down into like this price range's discount. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but you have to be prepared for either scenario. So if we start trading below 19K, and what I want to see is like this swing, right? I want to see this. We come in here into the discount, we spend a couple days there, and we're gone. So it would be the same thing here, right? Couple days here, and then we're gone. What I don't want to see is price consolidating at support. If we just start consolidating here for a significant amount of time, to me, that makes me think that this area will break. Then this starts to get ugly, and we look lower. But Nothing to be super bearish about now. I mean, God, for fuck's sakes, we're $3,000 above all-time high, right? There's nothing to be bearish about. It's just about where are the points of maximum opportunity. To me, the point of maximum opportunity for longing Bitcoin is going to be here if it's given, or it's going to be in the lower part of this range within here, which we'll get into a second. So, you know, this kind of price range, longing here, right? Shallow pullback, maybe go higher. But if we see something ugly, if we see this kind of, you know, this structure break down, right? Break down, that would be where I'm looking to buy. So that would be kind of the bearish case for Bitcoin, I guess. Bearish being a relative term. This would be an area where I'd be super interested in buying spot Bitcoin, building some sort of leverage position with a clear invalidation, you know, kind of just below 19K. If we start trading down here, I think you get out and you kind of reassess. So does that make sense for everyone so far? Drop the like, boys. Yes, please. Likes are much appreciated. Let's go, Brian. James Flynn. I just bought a fat bag of EOS here. I don't think that's a bad buy. I'm no longer in EOS. I know I was a bag holder forever, but I sold all of my EOS above $3. But the EOS Bitcoin pair just dumped super fucking hard. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the bottom, if that was capitulation for EOS. I don't know, unless they're fucking exit scamming because they're expecting to get sued like Ripple just got sued. Goodbye to alts. Do a BTC chart. We'll look at the Bitcoin Dominance Chart for sure. Sorry. People are getting smoked and still holding their XRP bags. Yeah, I mean, XRP got fucking dicked. XRP is like one of the craziest coins I've ever seen in terms of just like how it moves. That being said, you know, I think there, you know, might be an opportunity for it to bounce. I don't really fucking know. Anything that drops, you know, as much as it's dropped in such a short period of time, I think there might be an opportunity to buy it for at least some sort of mean reversion. Like maybe it's not going to $1 from here, but if it dropped 50% in a day almost, there might be a chance to catch a 20% bounce, right? But that's kind of more of an active trading thing, unless you're just like a long-term XRP bull. I don't really know if that's viable based on this recent news, but who fucking knows? I mean, there is the chance that the XRP could just start operating outside of the US, I guess, right? So I don't really know. Long game, risk management is number one. So shy, my guy. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll go over F in a second. What's up, Frankie? Expecting major tax sale right after New Year's? I don't really know. To be honest with you, I'm not. I don't look at that kind of shit being like, oh, it's the tax year end. Like we're gonna see a bunch of people cashing out to pay their taxes. I don't really know if that's a factor. I would just focus on the chart more than anything rather than try and, you know, I think a problem people have in crypto is they try and find a narrative and then they try and tie that to what's going on in price as opposed to just looking at price. Head and shoulders. Seriously, I thought you was a price action trader. What do you think a head and shoulders pattern is, dude? What do you think that is? It's fucking price action, bro. All patterns are price action. I talk about this all the time. What is a head and shoulders? What is that? That's a head and shoulders. What is that? I just see a high, a lower high, and then when it breaks the neckline and retests, I see a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, and then a lower high. It's just price action, right? Head and shoulders is just a way to describe price action. So yes, I'm a price action trader. Jesus Christ. Hey, Maine. Hope you're well, my brother. Thanks, Caliber. Nice to hear from you. Is XRP done? I hope so. I'm tired of XRP culty. Think that they're going to ride it till like Their little 1K investment to millions. XRP will not be the next Bitcoin. Sheesh. I don't think XRP ever had the intention of being the next Bitcoin. I think XRP's goal from the very beginning has been to be a payment solution, right? A liquidity provider. But essentially, my understanding, right, is the SEC is saying, the XRP has essentially been performing a 7-year long IPO where they're just, able to manipulate price because they hold so much XRP and they're selling it for profit for, to operate Ripple as a company. So I don't really know. I don't think XRP was ever to replace Bitcoin, though, in my opinion, at least. I don't think anyone making a $1,000 investment is going to turn it into millions. But yeah, XRP is a cult, right? You always got to be careful when you're dealing with something that has that kind of cult-like following. I do think it's a little bit shameful of some of the people on Twitter who were gloating about, XRP's pump, right? It went up like 50% in a day or 100% in a week or whatever. That's great, right? If you called it, I know a lot of people called it, but then to, be like, I'm not selling, don't sell, don't fall for the FUD when, people, maybe you have, like, maybe this person shilling has a bunch of XRP, but it's an immaterial amount towards their total net worth. Maybe someone has their entire net worth in XRP and you're telling them just to hold through a fucking 50% drawdown. Like, that's the difference between someone who is, an emotional, kind of cultish person versus someone who's an actual trader, right? As much as you may like XRP, it just dumped 50%. So if you held it from 20 cents to 70 cents all the way back to 20 cents, you fucked up. There's no two ways about it, right? So you need to, again, be able to remove your bias, right? And like, if you really like XRP, you should have taken some profit when it was going straight up and then rebought lower, right? That's what a trader would do. Possible 4-hour SFP on F. Yeah, we'll look at that. Trader Cause, everybody like the video right now. Thanks, buddy. Anyone new to trading, Main's videos are hands down some of the best free content on YouTube. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I love when you say about. Canadians are the best. I don't say about funny. You say it funny. It's no major surprise to me that Maine doesn't get more views. Crypto space doesn't know how to value things correctly. You're making me blush here, Caliber. Come on now, stop. Do Bitcoin dominance. I will. Okay. So, let's talk about Ethereum. Okay, sorry. So that's the bearish case for Bitcoin, right? Some sort of pullback here. Long the fuck out of it. If we start trading below this area, below the previous all-time high, I think that might be kind of ugly, and that might be something that you want to be, hesitant with, careful with, and that's all I got to say about that, okay? Now, if we're looking even more short-term for, kind of where we're at right now, I posted this chart on Twitter yesterday, and in my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, check out the link in the description. It's free to join. You can come hang out. I basically said, we're running into a little bit of resistance here, right? So we ran this low, okay? Closed back above, moved up. Then we came and tested this bearish daily order block. I just pulled a fib from here to here. There's your 79% level right there. And as you can see, we just came up to it. And now we've kind of rejected a little bit. We did wick higher than it there last night. I guess this would have been. But we're kind of just consolidating under this level right now. I don't think this is a huge cause for concern yet. Relative to altcoins, Bitcoin's actually holding up really, really well. So I don't know if that is a good or a bad thing yet. Like, this could be maybe delaying the dump. Everything's dumping. Bitcoin's going to dump on Christmas or something just truly evil like that. But to me, once you saw multiple failures here, right? To me, this is a failure. That's a swing high. That's a clear SFP. This is a reason enough to at least hedge some exposure or to get short. But really what we're looking for here now is where does this move end, right? So this is going to be kind of an interesting area for me right here. So we have those key lows that we swept here, right? Swept these key lows, okay? Moved away. Now we're right back to this kind of point of origin of the lows that got swept. So the market looks like it's turning over again as we speak. Yeah, this is looking fucking ugly, man. Right? So if this gray area goes, okay, if we lose this gray area here, right, I think we're going to see that larger correction that I talked about down into kind of the, retesting of previous all-time high. What you really want to see on Bitcoin here is some sort of bounce, right? You need to see some sort of bounce here, and we need to clear this high here if we're going to make, a move to 25K and beyond. What we don't want to see is this wick get entirely filled in and then us consolidate here, because if that happens, I think we'll probably break down. Maybe alts were just kind of leading there and Bitcoin's about to shit a brick. I'm not going to pretend that this looks great. This looks kind of bearish as it stands right now. You look at the H4 chart here. To me, right now, this looks like a lower high is forming right here. The next step, obviously, if this is going to dump, would be for us to make a lower low relative to this one. And that lower low can get pretty fucking ugly. And again, I think that will cause a lot of alts to bleed, especially versus their USD pair. So what you want to be watching on Bitcoin right now, in my opinion, is price to get above here. So the exact same logic that we used in this swing, right, for price to continue, we're going to use here. This price swing here, right, is the price swing that contains all of this price action. This is the range of interest here, right? So we need to start closing above this level here, okay? If we can start closing above 23,800, essentially, I think we'll see a move to 25K. I think we'll even see a move much higher than that. I think we could go as high as 27K. Taking this from here to here, the one-to-one extension is 26.5K, right? So that's the area that I'm watching on Bitcoin. If you want to be bullish on Bitcoin, we need to get above 23,800 ASAP. If price keeps unfolding how it is right now, to me, it looks like we're going to trade lower into that first scenario that I had mapped out, retesting that previous all-time high going into Christmas. Do I think this is super bad? No, I think these dips are opportunities, right? We're in a bull market. If you see a 10 to 20+% dip on Bitcoin in a bull market, right, that would be the all-time high from here, 14%. Those are buying opportunities, right? These are the type of dips that when you go back and you look here, you go, man, I wish I would have bought that, right? The world looks like it's ending here, right? We dip huge. I know this is 40%, but you got to imagine we're something like here, right? We're not at the absolute top, but you see some sort of 30% dip. That's your kind of point of maximum opportunity, right? Those exact scenarios that I just laid out. Where's the price swing? There's your price swing, comes right into the discount, right into the order block, right? Just shy of the order block, and then it continues to rip. So if this is forming a top, to me it's just something like this, right? There's your little top formation, boom, and then continuation. That is what we could be seeing happening on Bitcoin right now, right? Is we're seeing some sort of top form here, short term, right? Some sort of short term top here, a big dump, right? And then just continuation. That would be the bull market move, right? This would be your point of absolute opportunity where you want to buy, right? So that is what you kind of want to pay attention to. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. So leaning slightly bearish right now, unless we start trading above 23,800. If we start trading above 23,800, long your longs, we're going to see continuation. If we remain below this area, I think there's a good chance that this actually makes another leg down before seeing, continuation probably in January. Okay, So let's talk about Ethereum. So unfortunately, Ethereum looks worse than Bitcoin. Big surprise, Ethereum is a shitcoin. So why does Ethereum USD look worse than Bitcoin USD? The reason Ethereum USD looks worse than Bitcoin USD is because Ethereum BTC looks like a hot pile of garbage, right? So this looks like absolute AIDS. I do think this bottoms soon, but the fact of the matter is this has made a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, and just another lower low here. So as long as this is in a downtrend, Bitcoin is going to outperform Ethereum. That's why Bitcoin is trading $3,000 above all-time high, and Bitcoin is only trading at 580 bucks. It's because the BTC pair looks like shit. So until this pair starts to look bullish, if you're just holding one spot asset, the best asset to be holding right now is Bitcoin itself, because pretty much 9 out of 10 of these altcoin Bitcoin pairs look like garbage. So until that changes, unfortunately, right, Bitcoin remains king, and that's the best safe haven out of all the cryptos for your money right now. As soon as these start looking bullish, that's when it might make sense to rotate more of your money into these altcoins. You can try and play, the knife catch game where you try and, maybe this is the bottom and you buy it here, right? And I might not buy it until here. So did you beat me? Yes. But when I buy it here, I have some confirmation that the bottom might be in. You might buy it here, right? And then it might do this, right? Then what do you fucking do, right? Now you're fucking drowning, you're averaging down and shit. So I would rather play the confirmation game with something like this than try and just knife catch the absolute bottom. So just looking at the structure of FBTC right now, we're coming into this monthly order block. I pray to God that this is where the bottom happens. I believe that this is where it happens. I am of the mindset that this is what is going on. Low, high, higher low form somewhere in here, right? Exact same shit that I just covered in Bitcoin. Now looking at Ethereum, right? We're in the discount. We're into that deep fib. We're into a monthly order block. But this is a monthly order block. This thing could trade all the way down to the 0.79 and then still reverse. But that is a huge fucking move. On the monthly chart, you got to remember that these price swings are fucking massive. The difference between the 0.69 or the 0.62 and the 0.79 is 15%, right? So something you have to be aware of. But this is where I do think the bottom forms on Ethereum. But again, I'm not trying to catch a knife on this thing. I would rather wait for it to look somewhat bullish. This is not bullish yet. So for me, generally what I want to see is some sort of low get reclaimed. So I would be watching this area here. Okay, I'm just going to make this like red or something so we can see it. This is an area where if we do something like this, right? Okay, that is where I'm interested in getting in on Ethereum BTC. This is a point in time where I think Ethereum might start outperforming Bitcoin. But again, Bitcoin is at 23K. Ethereum is bleeding out at 577 right now. It's because this pair looks like shit, right? So, the whole market looks kind of heavy right now. There's no two ways about it. I want things to bottom soon. I want us to continue going up, but you got to play the fucking chart. And if the chart looks bearish, you look for shorts or you protect your capital, right? There's no point being a hero trying to fucking, hold through this entire fucking drawdown. We had a big swing up on Bitcoin and on a lot of alt USD pairs last week, right? Litecoin ripped to like 115. Ethereum was at like 660. If you didn't take any money off the table there at all on those pumps and you're now holding these all the way back down, you need to ask yourself, are you a trader or are you an investor or are you just a hodler, right? If you're just a hodler, sure, forget about it, zoom the fuck out. Ethereum's going to be at 800 in the next 3 to 6 months. But if you're an investor, there's areas where you can take some off, add back lower. And if you're a trader, you absolutely need to be playing these price swings in both directions. So unfortunately, this chart is still bearish. I do think it bottoms within this gray block, but just like I showed you, this gray block is huge, right? It's 25% from top to bottom. So you can't just buy here and be like, oh, it's going to bottom. It could trade all the way down here and then come up, right? And then you've given up a lot of opportunity cost, or you've held through a lot of drawdown, yada, yada, yada. So as long as this looks like shit, ETH is going to continue to underperform Bitcoin. If Bitcoin takes a dump here back to 20K, I think alt USD pairs bleed super hard, but then I think that is good blood to buy. But as long as this is looking like shit, why be in this, right? Why not just either be in Tether or be in Bitcoin itself? Because if you're holding this, you're losing USD and BTC value, right? You're losing twice. So pay attention to these pairs. The ETH-USD pair looks a lot shittier than Bitcoin because the ETH-BTC pair looks like shit. So while Bitcoin is doing this, right? Bitcoin has done this, right? It's trading like here. ETH has already very clearly made a lower low and another lower high and another lower low, right? So this looks like dog shit right now, if I'm being frank. I posted this yesterday. I said this is coming into resistance here, right? So it had a nice bounce here, but I said this is coming into resistance, and the question is this a lower high, right? Or is this going to be a reversal? I was banking on something like this, and this is what I'd kind of drawn out, and it looked good for about 30 seconds, was like, okay, come in here, then do this, right? Obviously, that's not what happened. We came into that bearish order block, rejected right at the 0.79, right? And sold off hard, and we've made a lower low now. So this market structure on the H4 is bearish. This market structure on the daily is not bearish yet, okay? We're still maintaining the daily uptrend here. You can still say we're arguably in a daily uptrend, but we're getting very close to that changing. So we've just made a higher high here on the daily. This would be the low that has to hold for this daily uptrend to continue. So if you're looking at ETH-USD on the daily, this is the area that has to hold. If we lose this area, in my opinion, we're going to trade back to like $480 to $500, right? So this is the area that has to hold. If Bitcoin takes your shit, if Ethereum BTC continues to dump, you can bet your bottom dollar that this is going to fucking pull back as well. Again, zoom out. Notice where we are relative to, this entire this is a bad example here. Right, so bearish retest. I should have shorted this. This is a textbook main short. We made a lower low, pull back into the OTE, into a bearish order block, stop goes there, target there. That's a bang on one of my kind of trades all fucking day that I should have taken, right? I should have taken this trade. Unfortunately, I didn't. Again, you zoom out, you remember where we are, where we've come from, right? This is all the freaking out is just this little candle here. Just remember where we were 2 months ago, okay? 2 months ago, we were trading down here. So keep that aware, just like Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin pulls back to the 19 to 20K region, this is going to be the price swing that I'm watching on Ethereum, okay? This price swing right here. There's your discount, right? There's your bullish order block. So if Bitcoin pulls back hard, this is where I'm looking for Ethereum to go and obviously see continuation from here. Ultimately, I do think we're going to trade to $800 soon. The question is, are we going to do it from where we're at now, right? And move up, or are we going to see a much deeper retracement? So that's kind of the $1 million question. If it comes down here, just like I'm buying Bitcoin at 19 to 20K, I'm buying Ethereum here in the $400 to $500 range, right? The daily, again, structure is still holding, but it looks kind of gross, so you've got to be careful, right? This could roll over from here. If it loses this swing low, daily market structure will now be broken, right? So if we do one of these, guess where you're looking to sell? You're looking to sell here. The daily bearish order block that caused the lower low, right? That is where you're looking to sell. Okay, that would be a sell. That would also be your head and shoulders, right? It's the same fucking shit. So daily market structure still intact. Doesn't look great though. If Bitcoin rolls, this will roll. The BTC pair looks like shit. So I would be hesitant here. We are into support, right? You know, so if you bought the dip here, awesome. This is still an uptrend until it loses this low. So keep that in mind, right? And this happens to be right at the 0.382. So as long as this holds, this is an uptrend. But as soon as this gray box goes, we go down to here, right? So to me, you can long this area, right, with a potential upside of, you know, 810, right? And if we lose this area, right, you can look to short, you know, down into here, right? So pretty clear areas, right? So I mean, if we bounce here, this is a level kind of on the intraday that I would watch. We'll zoom in a little bit here, right? This is an area, lines up right with that. This would be the area to watch here, okay? So if we bounce here and reject, get the fuck out. If we bounce here and reclaim, good chance this continues much higher, right? This is support for now, and let's just kind of see what happens, right? We don't need to guess. We can play this level to level and just kind of see, you know, what price tells us it wants to do. But unfortunately, all of these alt BTC pairs look like shit. So for the most part, your money is best spent just being in Bitcoin. All right. Where do you want to buy ETH on the BTC pair? Remember this chart from August. Where do I want to buy ETH on the BTC pair? In here. It's in my buy zone, right? But I'm not just going to fucking blow my entire load right here. I want to see some bullishness form. This is the monthly chart, so I can't just buy it, right? What I need to see is on the lower time frames, like I showed earlier, I need to see some sort of bullishness here. This is just lower highs and lower lows. This is a fucking downtrend, right? So I need to see some sort of bullish price action form here before I get involved, before I'm interested in you know, playing this back to the long side. But this is in my area where I believe, I hope, I pray that the bottom forms. Tarser says, you mentioned order books earlier. Can you give a quick overview of that? They're called order blocks. You got to watch some of my old videos. I've gone over order blocks tons and tons and tons of times. Just go watch some of my old streams. I'm not just saying that to pump my views. I don't really give a shit. Watch any of my old streams and I go over those concepts over and over and over again, and you'll have a good understanding. You can also join my Discord. The link is in the description of my Twitter. I have entire write-ups. I have an entire educational section where I cover that stuff. Where to build macro ETH trade for 2021? So, great question. I think if we can find support here in this weekly or this monthly order block, that's where you want to start building it in terms of the BTC pair. In terms of the USD pair, right? Either here or here. And that all is going to depend on what Bitcoin does. I don't know. Are you just starting to dollar cost average? I think anything from $400 to $600 is going to be a great buy 6 months from now. But are you willing to have some buys at $550 and some buys at $450? Or do you want to try and catch the bottom, right? If you're trying to catch the bottom, don't want to sit and draw down, you're going to have to fucking wait for something bullish and then buy that bullishness, right? Because if you knife catch this and it fucking sells off and you bought all of your spot here, unfortunately, you're holding it, right? And you're going to be down in USD value. So you want to see some bullishness form on the FBTC pair, and you want to see what Bitcoin's going to do here. Because if Bitcoin continues to bleed, continues to look bearish, we're going to see those alt USD pairs bleed further down. If you get a chance to buy F here, I think you fucking do it. I don't know if you will, but if you get a chance, I think you fucking do it. Absolutely. Ripple has always been a fake crypto. We knew it when it launched. All right, let's look at Ripple. mean, my God, have you ever seen a bigger scam? The thing is like, I don't know why people are surprised, right? Every time Ripple pumps, it does this, right? Every time it has a big move up, it fucking fully retraces it just as savagely. So as much as people were gloating, like, oh my God, you're holding other altcoins than Ripple, ha ha ha, they're getting absolutely wrecked right now. I think it's completely asinine to see a move like this, okay, and to not take any profit. I don't care where you bought from. If you think you bought the absolute bottom, seems completely ridiculous to not take any profit here, right? Obviously, them getting sued. You know, this is bearish right here, right? Once it broke this low, right? Now we're in a downtrend. We have a high, a low, a lower high, right? We have a low, potential higher low, right? A lower high, and then a lower low. This is where you profit take, right? If you were bullish on Ethereum, once it took out this low, right, you need to sell the next bounce. But to me, like this, you take profit on moves like this, regardless, right? Including on Bitcoin, right? When you see these big parabolic moves, you take some profit and you can rebuy lower, usually, almost every fucking time. And Ripple is the perfect example of this. I mean, obviously, there's some news-driven event here as well, getting sued by the SEC for like $1 billion fucking dollars. But the chart itself looked shitty. Once it had that pump and it failed to continue to push higher, that is your signal to get out. If you didn't take any profit on this entire move, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, this looks like shit. It completely retraced this entire pump. We even ran all of these lows here, which is absolutely nuts to me. You know, I think if you're a long-term believer and you think Ripple is going to pump to all-time high again, this is your floor, right? Like this is historically, this has been, for the most part, over the last 3 years, a pretty good place to buy Ripple, right? So almost every time you buy it here, boom, big pump, right? Pump. Obviously dilly-dallied here, but then again, pump. So, I mean, if you're accumulating Ripple, I don't see, and I tweeted this today, the 20 to 30 cent area seems like an okay area to buy. That being said, there are some looming fundamental factors here with the SEC lawsuit that could cause this to go much lower. I have no fucking idea what will happen with Ripple. I have no idea if this lawsuit will go through and they're fucked, if it will get settled. I have no fucking clue. So keep that in mind when you're investing in something like this. You know, there is that risk, you know, the SEC could shut this shit down somehow. I don't know, right? But to me, 20 to 30 cents could be a good punt, right? At the very least, you might see some sort of relief, right? This thing's down. I think it went down like 40% today, right? Something crazy like that. So, you know, this kind of move generally sees some sort of relief, just like some huge pump seems some sort of pullback. Huge dumps will see some sort of pullback as well. So 20 to 30 cents I think is an area to be interested in. I'm personally not in Ripple. It's not a coin that I own. But you know, excuse me, I mean, it's a coin that I've put some money into today, very small amount. I've punted, but like this is not like a long-term bag of mine where I'm like, okay, Ripple's going to you know, $10 or something like that. Could it very well do that? Absolutely. 20 to 30 cents seems like an interesting area. I mean, but you know, buy the blood, I guess. I don't know. This looks fucked. But usually when it looks fucked like this is when you get some sort of fucking, you know, short squeeze, right? This is going to squeeze people who are piling in short late here. It will. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this thing bounce to like 40 cents or something, liquidate a bunch of shorters, and then come back down to here. But 20 to 30 cents seems like an interesting area, but I don't really know. Yeah, there you go, right? You sold in profit, now you're buying low. I mean, that's how to do it. Forget what it is, right? It's a fucking asset that you can trade and just focus on the price action and just trade the price action. That's all you can do, right? If you're a trader, that's what you should do. If you're an investor in this, I think you should be a lot more concerned with what's going on with the SEC. But if you're just trying to trade this thing, it just dumped 40%, right? Good chance it bounces. right? But ignore all those people who were gloating to you here and going, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and then it dropped another fucking 40%. Those people are fucking retards. Ripple isn't even a cryptocurrency. It pumps because of new people think it is. Sure. Hey bro, you think gold case all-time high, then dump could happen to BTC? I don't fully understand your question, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't really understand your question, to be honest with you, bro. Taking out all of the momentum traders all over at the top of that range. Absolutely. People are getting liquidated left and right. It's centralized dog shit with the founders holding 90% of the pie from the start. So, I mean, that's the biggest kind of argument against Ripple, right? That the SEC, I believe, is going after them for. They're saying, you guys, this is centralized. You guys own all of this supply, and you're just selling it to fucking retail investors to then fund the business, right? So that seems to be the problem. Who's trading New Year's? One of the things I hate about crypto, I talk about this all the time, is when it moves, right? Fucking in the summer, it wants to fucking go crazy. It's dead in the fall, and then summer it goes crazy. Fucking Christmas and New Year's, it's going fucking crazy. It's like, I want to relax right now. I want to spend time with my girlfriend, with my friends, my family. Obviously can't do all of that because of COVID, but that's when the market decides to fucking have these huge swings. And unfortunately, if you want to make money in these markets, you know, sometimes you got to sacrifice. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably be looking at the charts on New Year's, right? Fucking hell. I just can't wait for 2020 to be over, man. I'm done with this year. Daily closing. Yeah, daily close looked like shit. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna, everything looks like it's gonna dump more, which is super whack. Like, that might have been the, like that. This looks like it's just gonna do this now, which is lame. I would like shit to pump. I don't want shit to dump. I want shit to go up, but we have a plan, right? As much as this shit all looks crazy, you create a plan and you live with it. Like, you look at something like sushi, like, what the fuck? Look at this. So this thing dumped 50%, okay? And then it recovered 100% in an hour. That's crazy. That is fucking nuts. Looking buff as fuck. Laugh my ass. That's what's up. Thanks, bro. I've been in the gym hard as fuck, so I appreciate you noticing. Bottom soon, says Mush. Thoughts on ADA? I mean, this looks like shit, right? So why worry about this yet? It hasn't bottomed. This looks kind of very similar to Ethereum, right? So it's coming into, you know, monthly demand here, right? It's fully retraced this pump. So is this going to be a higher low? That's the question. But if you're looking at this on the low time frame, right? This looks like garbage. This is a downtrend here. This is a fucking downtrend, right? Could this be bottoming soon? Absolutely. It just ran some lows here, but you want to see some bullishness before you decide to get into this thing. You need to see something bullish, because for now, this is just in a clear downtrend. There's no reason to jump into this thing until it shows some fucking bullishness. So this is underperforming Bitcoin, which means that the USD pair is also going to be underperforming Bitcoin. This doesn't look great either. I would be wanting to see some bullishness, but all of these altcoin pairs, all of the Bitcoin pairs look like shit. So as long as all of the Bitcoin pairs look like shit, your money would have been better off just sitting in Bitcoin. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trading. I understand that there's more upside in ETH, there's more upside in LCT or ADA or whatever, right? Cardano. You have to look at the Bitcoin pair, and if the Bitcoin pair looks like shit, you're going to be underperforming just being in Bitcoin, right? But could be getting close to a bottom. Doesn't look that good right now. Are you bold? Sure. I don't know what that means. Thank you. Shall I dump it? I don't know, bro. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Look at the chart, make a decision, right? I buy ADA, it dumps. Best market structure trader on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. Amazing. The In-N-Out shirt. I miss that place. Love In-N-Out, man. Got to get the animal style. Why the 7.9? Why don't you use the 618 and the 78.6? That's what that is. The 7.9 and the 62 is the 618 and the 78.6. I just rounded the numbers up because I prefer how they look. It's the exact same thing. If you look at your fib here, that's all that this is. 0.62 is the 0.618. This is the 78.6. So look, the 0.62 is 0.12437, right? If I change this to this, it changes literally 4,000th of a Satoshi. No different. I just like the round numbers, that's all. Hey, a channel named Ripple Foundation is running a live in their channel, and they have a giveaway for XRP, and they said if you sent 10 XRP, you get 20 back. So 10 XRP is like $3, unless you're saying you spent 10,000 XRP. But why would you ever never send someone on the internet money? Like, that's fucking 101, man. If someone says send me money and I'm gonna send you more back, that's obviously a scam, dude. So I'm sorry that happened to you, but come on, dude. Like, be smarter. That's ridiculous. XRP is down 50% today. Why would you send a channel called XRP Foundation money? How was last Xmas with the market in crypto because the traditional markets was closed? Well, why don't we take a look? Where was last Christmas? It was the fucking bottom. Last Christmas was the 3K bottom, right? Then we started an uptrend to 14K. So what was the Christmas before that, right? It was the top. So always shit happening right around Christmas. Do we always have to test those order blocks as support and resistance? No. So just because there's an order block there does not mean it will always get tested. It is an area that could be tested, that I'm interested in either buying and selling at, but they don't always get tested, right? Sometimes you'll have an order block here, right? Price will do this, right? And then it'll do this. And it just never comes back, right? So that happens. You're not always going to get that perfect SR test that you want. 10 push-ups for the height. Gotta look for signs of absorption. Yeah, you gotta see some sort of buying occur. Why is he not talking about his 600 buys on ETH? I did talk about my 600 buys. I posted it on Twitter. I bought ETH between 580 and 600, and I'm hoping that it goes up. If we see a weekly close below these levels, I'm gonna fucking cut. So there. You happy? Like, if you're gonna try and like come on my video and try and like gotcha me or try and troll me, like, bro, I don't delete any tweets. All my shit is up there. I do all these videos for free. Like, you can honestly go fuck yourself. The XRP army is really strong, man. They're all talking about buying more right now. I know. So that's my worry, that this thing can get way uglier because people are just fucking stupid and will buy this shit all the way down to zero with the hopes that it's going to make it rich. There's some crazy stat, like 70 or something % of Americans think that they're going to retire by winning the lottery, right? You need to assume, this is something I always tell people, right? If you assume the best in people, right? Everyone's like, oh, assume the best. I'm the exact opposite. My mantra is expect the least from people. Expect the very least. If I go into an interaction with a person expecting them to do things up to my standards, I'm usually going to be disappointed, right? Expect the minimum from people, and if you get better, it's a positive, right? If you expect the best, you're usually going to be disappointed. That's how I try to go through life. And the same goes for trading. Expect people to be stupid. Expect them to make dumb decisions because 99% of people in trading are going to lose money and get shit wrong anyways, right? So There's stupid Bitcoin maxis as well, just like there's stupid Ripple maxis. People like to rip on the Ripple army when it's like, dude, the Bitcoin army is just as cringe. Can you look at ADA? I just looked at it. Can you look at ADA? I didn't expect alts to dump all of a sudden 30 minutes after I buy. Pretty bad timing. Feels bad, man. Look at the chart, right? So why did you buy ADA where you did, right? I don't know if you bought the Bitcoin pair or the dollar pair, but regardless, you had to have a reason to buy, right? What was your reason to buy? Maybe your reason was we bought into this monthly block, right? Maybe that was your reason. Where are you wrong? You don't just buy it without having an invalidation, right? So I bought Ethereum at 580 to 600, expecting a swing to 800, right? So let's say my average is 590, okay? My profit is 810, okay? I still have an invalidation point, right? Where I'm getting out of those trades, okay? So you have, just because it's a spot buy or it's a leverage buy, it doesn't matter. You gotta have an area where you're wrong, right? You gotta have an area where you're wrong. So you can't just buy and be like, oh, it went down, what do I do now? Where is that buy wrong? Why did you buy, right? If you're trying to catch this wick here, right? So let's say you're trying to scalp. So you bought into this wick, okay? You bought into this wick. My invalidation would probably be below that low, right? So why did you buy where you did? And where is that idea wrong? So it might be down right now. That obviously sucks, right? But you've got to have an invalidation. Where is that trade idea wrong? Sorry, one sec. So you've got to have a plan. That's the problem. People will be like, oh, I bought this and it's going down. Well, where's that idea wrong? Why did you buy it? And where's that idea wrong? Okay? If you don't know where the idea is wrong, you shouldn't have made the trade. I'm not trying to be harsh, being like you're screwed, right? But you have to have a plan, right? XRP starts pumping when you begin watching it. Yeah, maybe I have a superpower. I wouldn't bet on it too much yet, right? So I mean, looking at Ethereum low time frame here, we need to get above this high, right? Because if we now lose this low, this is a potential swing low, but if we do this thing's fucked, right? So if you're trading at low time frame, right, you got to look at stuff like that and just say, okay, where's my idea wrong? Where's the market structure? Shit like that. How can you trade based on a box 10% wide where you take your entry? So it all is relative to time frame, right? So my box may be 10% wide, right? Like this box on FBTC is huge, right? So if I'm playing this on the monthly, right? So I'm playing this on the monthly here, okay? I might start buying right here and then into this order block here, right? My stop is all the way down here. Okay, but my target is also based on the monthly, right? So I could buy F like this, right? Up into here, right? That would be the monthly. My stop is super fucking far from my entry. It's 22%. What does that mean? It means my position size has to be tiny, right? Your position size is going to be determined by the distance of your stop from your entry, and obviously your risk amount and your account size. Right? So if I have a really wide stop because I'm trading high time frame, my position size is smaller. I'm not trading $100,000 worth here. On the 5-minute chart where my stop is 2% away, maybe I am. But on a monthly trade like this, absolutely not. But the logic on an order block is you buy when it hits the order block and into it, your stop goes below. But what I would do is say, this is my support area on the high time frame, and then I'm looking for a lower time frame entry. So I might look for an entry like this. Okay? Now my box, yes, it's a big box, but I have a smaller box, a smaller entry area within the bigger area that I'm paying attention to. And that's how you get a tighter risk reward, right? So now my stop's not way the fuck down there. It's here or it's here, right? So it's all relative to the time frame you do your analysis and then actually the time frame that you trigger on. I'm not entering a trade based on the monthly. I'm entering a trade based on the daily or the H4. So my risk is going to be a lot tighter, right? I want to see bullishness, which will form on the low time frame first. Hey Maine, I said you were making a video about your entry techniques. Did I miss it? No, you didn't miss it. I just haven't created it yet. I've been busy. I'm hoping to make that video over the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. Mt. Gox cold wallet just moved 13 mil to an unknown wallet. Well, that's terrifying, isn't it? XRP bouncing to fuck shorters. Don't know, mate. Market makers are getting the fuck out. CEOs are def not pumping it now. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't really trade XRP. I think 20 to 30 cents, it's worth a punt, right? It could 10x from there. It could go to 0. Again, where's your risk? Where's that idea wrong? If I'm buying Ripple between 20 and 30 cents, my idea is wrong probably at 0. So that's a risk I'm willing to take. What is your reasoning for entering the trade? If you have one, if you have a risk invalidation, fucking get in. If you don't see a setup, then fucking don't get in, right? Simple as that. Don't overthink it. It's just another trade, right? Forget what the actual fucking ticker is. I've bought GRT. Should I hold or am I dumb? I mean, again, what do you think, bro? To me, this looks terrible. The BTC pair looks like shit. You're better off being in Bitcoin. This is the exact same chart. I think that, why did you buy it where, right? If you told me you bought it here, right? Let's say you told me you bought it here. As soon as it lost this order block, I would have gotten out. That's my personal opinion. If we see something like this, that would be a reason to get back in. But I don't really see any support here, for a while. Maybe right here, there's a little bit of a level, or down here, right? But where is your idea wrong? Where did you buy it? Why did you buy it there? And where is that idea wrong? If you're buying based on this order block, right? Okay, well, if we lose that level, get out, right? You've got to have your invalidation in mind before you enter the trade, or else you're gonna lose money every single fucking time, because you're not gonna know when to get out. You're gonna fucking hold this thing way lower than you should. What's your thoughts on LTC right now? Same as everything else, right? Everything looks the exact same to me. This looks slightly better than some, but again, this is in a downtrend. Better off holding Bitcoin, right? So this is still making lower lows and lower highs. So until this makes a higher high, so this is a low, this is a high. So if we can now take out this high and ultimately take out this high, then LTC might start outperforming Bitcoin. But until then, this thing is bearish, right? And again, I still like LTC to go higher. And I bought LTC at 90 and I've bought more, but I'm prepared for it to go down here. I'm prepared for it to come down here. Oops. I'm prepared for it to come down here, right? And trade into this, just like that Ethereum setup I showed you. Exact same fucking setup, right? Trade down into here before continuing higher, right? Because the Bitcoin pair looks bearish, so this is going to look shittier than Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin pair looks bearish. This is going to underperform Bitcoin. So money is still, I don't see any alts really that your money is better in right now, because all of the alt BTC pairs, I mean, for fuck's sakes, look at EOS. Okay? I thank God I don't own any of this anymore, but look at this, right? Just bearish as fuck, right? So your money is better in Bitcoin than it is in any alts, right? And if Bitcoin bleeds out, these alts are going to bleed out even harder, unfortunately. But again, remember where we are compared to where we were, things like that. But everything looks like it's going to continue to dump here, unfortunately, which is shitty as fuck. because I want things to go up, but like this looks bad, right? I was saying this at the start of the video. This looks like it's going to fill in that wick. So what's your thoughts on LTC? Just cover that. My short at 24.1K is looking great. Man, you're a savage. Great entry. Is OCGN a hold, or is it going to be a huge jump? I don't know, man. What is that even? I don't even know what that is. It's not even on here. Can you check Link USD? Right? I said Link was going to $8 a while ago. Back on December 10th. Like, that just looks like garbage to me. This looks like shit. This looks like it's going to trade lower. And again, I talked about Link in previous videos, how I think it, you know, has kind of been performing well. Like, look at this shit, though. Okay, that looks terrible. So this looks super bearish. Why would you be in this, right? It's coming into support here, but it's basically fully retraced that entire fucking market cycle. This seems way more likely to me, right? Is some sort of bounce and then fuck off. Some sort of bounce and then, I don't know, maybe bouncing ball meme. But everything looks really bad right now. So just be careful. Any altcoin versus Bitcoin that looks like this, that looks bearish, you're better off in Bitcoin, right? And then just look at how Bitcoin's performing. Wait for these to start looking bullish before you start pouring your money in them. Sup, man? How'd the podcast go with TradeXO? I think it went good. Prime will be uploading that to their YouTube channel hopefully this week. I'll keep you posted. I'll make sure to retweet it. Thanks, Bernardo. Appreciate your approach you take, and many thanks for sharing your knowledge. First time I've seen one of your videos. I'll be watching more. Thanks so much, Ryan. That means a lot. Can you elaborate on the approach to the XRP a little? For a little retraction. Thanks a lot. So basically, anything that dumps 40% in a day, right, there's a good chance it gets some sort of a relief bounce, right? Not saying fucking go all in on this thing, but this thing is just dumped, you know, in the last day, literally 40%. Okay, 50%, something crazy like that. So to me, and it's into support. There's support here. Remember that 20 to 30% area of support. I would not be surprised if people who saw this dumping, it's already down double-digit percentage, are now with leverage joining the party to short this thing. I would not be surprised if we see some sort of mean reversion before it dumps off again. So there could be money to be made on the way up or shorting wherever the bounce goes to. So, it's to me, this is like maximum pain. It dropped like 50-60% in 2 days. Good chance that it has some sort of bounce before it, you know, continues down or at least starts to consolidate. It's not just going to go straight to zero from here. It will have some sort of relief bounce is all I'm saying. You forgot the BTC Dominance Chart. BTC Dominance. Let's take a look at it real quick here. So again, right? I don't even remember drawing these lines, but what does this mean for alts, right? What does this mean for alts? If this is bullish, it means alts are going to get fucked. So I don't remember drawing this, but it looks like it came into support, right? And we've been in an uptrend. What has happened since August for all altcoins versus Bitcoin? Just look at the main one, right? Since August, all alts have been in a downtrend versus Bitcoin. Why? Because the dominance chart has been in an uptrend. So if this is going to continue higher, right, and it's going to break through these highs, that means, in my opinion, that Bitcoin is going to go crazy again and altcoins are going to eat an absolute fucking dick, right? So you got to be careful. Definitely pay attention to this chart. It just broke a high here. You know, this looks bullish, right? Why are alts getting smoked right now? There's your answer right there. One sec. I got to take my pre-workout here. I got to go to the gym. Sorry about that. Okay. Why do people get emotionally attached to their bags? Simple answer for that. People have made a bunch of money holding some altcoin, trading some altcoin. So they're emotionally attached to that. And they want it to go up, right? That's the problem with crypto, right? When you're trading a stock, it goes the same thing, right? If you bought Tesla low and you made a bunch of money, you're going to have this emotional attachment. That's why people will hold these fucking coins all the way back into the ground. Crypto is like no other in that sense, where people will buy this shit, they'll hold it all the way up, and they'll hold it all the way back down. The amount of people I know that bought ETH here, held it through here, all the way down here, it's insane, right? Have no attachment to these bags. Trade the chart. Your focus is to make money, not to hold some coin to fucking all-time high and beyond. Your purpose in this game is to make money. Yo, man, hope you're well. What do you think about Tesla's capitulation on the BTC pair? So, I mean, the good news is the shittier these alts look, it means the closer they are to bottoming, right? So, again, this looks awful, right? What has the Bitcoin Dominance Chart been doing this entire time? It's been in an uptrend. So, this looks fucking horrific. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. So, this looks horrific. I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Could this be capitulation? Maybe. Right, but until this gets above here, this is so ugly, right? This is so bad. So I would not touch this thing at all. This could be capitulation, but I don't even know where this bottoms out. There's no levels below here. So this looks disgusting. I hope you don't own any of this. LBC did a 5x out of nowhere. Sure, but where is LBC relative to its former all-time high, right? So it might have done a 5x, but if you own LBC at any point in the last 3 years, you're still down 99%, right? If you're down 90% from where you bought, you need to do a 900% gain just to get back to break even, right? So the math gets crazy when you. That's the problem with holding these bags, taking huge drawdown. So you need to have a huge gain just to get back to break even. Why is LTC so strong? LTC is so strong. I don't think it's that strong, but because this might be starting to bottom, right? Out of all the altcoins, look at this on the daily. Okay, look at this on the daily. This looks like it's starting to form an uptrend, right? Look at FBTC on the daily. Not in an uptrend, right? So that's the reason why LTC is holding up stronger than Ethereum, for example. Do you think most of CT is full of shit? Absolutely. Do you Discord group? I do have a Discord. It's completely free. Link is in the description of my Twitter. You can join up, ask me questions. I also have a full educational section where I go over how I mark up charts, what order blocks are, how I do SR. There's tons of great resources and smart people in there. Feel free to join. What do I think of ZIL? I mean, that's crazy. Nice little pump. Let's look at ZIL Bitcoin. What do you see different here versus all of these other fucking BTC pairs? All of the BTC pairs that we're looking at look like this, right? Notice how this looks like an uptrend. This is actually nice. The BTC pair is in an uptrend and the USD pair is in an uptrend. This looks pretty good, to be honest with you. This is not one I've been watching, but that looks great. Look at F real quick here, low time frame. Need to see this move up, right? If we can somehow do this, that would be fucking incredible. This needs to hold this swing low though. Needs to hold here, needs to get above here. If it can do this, I think it probably goes at least to there. If it fails, if this rejects here, look out fucking below. ZIL looks good though. Just a nice Christmas down. Yeah, like if you're a long-term hodler, like I said, this is what I tell to my friends and family. I was like, if you're trying to get in crypto in a bull run, anytime stuff drops 10, 20, 30%, just start to buy a little bit, right? That's when you're going to get those discount prices, because there's a good chance 2 months from now, ETH is at $1,000, right? So, you know, if you bought it at 600 or 500, you're not going to care too much. In a short from 0.061, nice. Not sure what that means. Thomas, I'm absolutely not clicking that link. Check out whale alerts. Yeah, I saw that. Don't really know what it means. Not gonna try and guess what it means. What is the bench press max looking like? So I tore a ligament in my wrist called the TFCC ligament complex, triangular fibrocartilage complex, some bullshit. It sucks. I was out of commission on any sort of upper body exercises for like 5 months, and it's just about back at 100% now. But my bench max right now is about 225 for 3. But I would like to, obviously, now that my wrist is healed up, see that go up. All right, this guy's just spamming shit. Oh, COVID got all over the mic. That's funny. Would you consider buying XRP right now? Again, look for bullish market structure, have a plan. I think 20 to 30 cents, though, looks like a okay area to buy, right? You need to see this start to look bullish too, though, right? So is this bottoming? Right now, this looks like absolute hot garbage, right? So if you're buying XRP here, it's a knife catch, right? It's a knife catch, but I think on the USD pair, 20 to 30 cents is a punt. I think is not that bad. Starting to think I made a mistake investing in SNX. I don't know. When did you buy it? It's been going pretty well. So unless you bought it right here, then maybe it looks shitty. But I mean, this looks good. And the BTC pair looks okay, right? So this is key. If it can stay above here, I think this continues up. So I don't think this is, compared to some other altcoins, I think this doesn't look bad at all, my man. Wow, I tuned in and you're looking at Library Coin. That's only because someone told me to. Bought BTC like 2 days ago from 2350, 500. Want to buy more? Should I buy more if it drops under 2200? Joao, Henrique. Go watch the start of my video. I kind of cover my Bitcoin plan, right? I think if it holds here, it'll go up. I want to see it break through 23,800 to confirm more upside. If it loses 2200, right? So I don't think this is a bad buy. Right? And your risk is here, right? Below this wick. Because if it loses this gray, I think it goes much lower. God tier, he says. Yo, FBTC 20-month MA holding or what? I don't know. I don't use moving averages. You tell me. Good to enter BTC current scenario. Yeah, go watch the start of my video if you want my view on BTC. This dude is chill as fuck. Love him. Thanks, bro. I'll go USD in a good zone. It has 7% interest on Coinbase. I don't know what that means. I mean, this looks kind of shitty. Again, right? Would you buy this? Right? This is in a major downtrend versus Bitcoin. Same as every other alt we've talked about in this video. Are you doing a gold and silver stream? That's a different stream. I do gold and silver on Fridays. So Christmas, I guess. I don't know. But I'll be doing it. What do you think about an entry at 1932 12-hour demand zone? I think that's a great entry if it's given. Right? It's exactly what I talked about here. Right? That would be this entry right here. Right around this area here. I think if given, this is a great long. If given. I don't know if it will. Previous all-time high retest. I think you absolutely take that. Okay, I gotta go. You could do 250 reps, bro. Maybe. I'll try. I gotta go to the gym, guys. I'm sorry to cut this a little short, even though it's an hour and 40 minutes long. But I will be back. I'll probably do another quick video tomorrow, just like a quick update video. I feel like I rushed this one a little bit, even though we've been going on for an hour and 40 minutes. But I do got to get to the gym. Unfortunately, due to COVID, my gym has super strict rules, and I have to book in advance. And if I don't show up, they charge me money. So I've got to end this video here. But I will be back with multiple videos over the coming days. I've got some time off of my business. I've closed my business for Christmas, so I've got some extra time to do videos and stuff for you guys. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please leave a like, please retweet, please follow me, please subscribe. If you want to join my Discord and talk with me directly, link is in the description of my Twitter. Shout out to Prime again for hooking it up. And I love you guys so much. We're all going to make it. Don't stress. We're still trading $3,000 above all-time high. There's nothing to worry about. Remember, dips are gifts, right? Dips are an opportunity, not a reason to freak out. We stay cold, calculated, robotic. We're all going to make a bunch of fucking money in 2021. I am very confident of that. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, even though I'll probably talk to you guys before then. But if I don't see you, I hope everyone has a great holidays. Love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.